Hey guys, and welcome to my channel and to this video. Today we'll be painting another cards, and I noticed that you really do love when I paint cards, so I guess I'm gonna give you one more idea. Today we will be doing 2 cards, and for this I am using this Canson Montval watercolor paper. It is 24 by 32. I've divided it into 4 parts. Today I'm using 2 of those. It is 300 GSM or 140 pounds and 100% cellulose watercolor paper. I do recommend that for beginners. So if you're a beginner and not ready to invest a lot of money in cotton watercolor paper, this one 100% cellulose is just fine. So that's what we're going to use for the papers. Then I'm also going to use some ink pens today. And these are from Etcher graphic pens. One is size S. This is a little bit different, not really with that pointy, classic pointy tip, but it's actually a little bit different. Just a second. You can see the tip is, well, it's going up a little bit pointy. That's the tip. And the second one, this is 0.2 and just a regular ink pen. You can see very thin. Since this is going to be a little bit smaller cards, I'm going to use quite thin pens. So we're going to use these ink pens. Also we will be of course needing some pencil for sketching, an eraser, and watercolors. I will be using my watercolors that I've made, but you can use basically any watercolors you have. You can use also leftover of your watercolors. That would also be fine. And if you have your favorite colors, you can definitely use them here. So you don't have to use the same colors as I'm using, but just any colors you like. So I think that's everything. Now, without further ado, let's get started. I'm starting with my first card, and I did make my sketch, but for some reason, I guess I did not press the record. So you cannot really see how I drew the sketch, but it's quite simple. Later on, when we will be adding an ink pen, you will see the entire process. And I did draw that sketch just to know where I will be placing a flower later on. Next thing I did is pre-wet the entire paper. I used this mauve brush, a little bit larger mauve brush, and then added some pink on the left side, yellowish, some raw sienna in the middle part, and green color, earthy green, not very vibrant, but quite saturated darker green, I've added on the right side. When I've added those colors, I've actually tilted my paper because I didn't want them to bleed downwards. I did pre-wet the paper for that reason, so it could bleed. I also used a spray bottle just to help that paint move around my paper. Afterwards, I left it to dry completely. While that was drying, I moved on to the second card, and for that card I decided to do circles, just nothing special. A couple of circles using same colors, green, yellow, and somewhat pink color. And I did not paint them in a full circle. I started with my pigment on the left side, dipped my brush into the water, rinse it, dry it slightly onto the towel, and then move on to the right side, moving that paint there, just leaving that part a little bit lighter, as you can also see. On some parts, I painted one circle on top of the other, just mixing the colors and let them bleed one into each other. Afterwards, when finished with the circles, I sprinkled again that same green, pink, and yellow, and then left it to dry completely. While that was drying, I was finishing off my first card, and for that card, I used the ink pen I showed you at the beginning with that little bit pointier tip, not a classic ink pen, but a little bit like brush looking pen. And I drew the flower, and as you can see, quite simple, just do the half circle for the center of the flower, and I just also drew in a couple of petals, and on top of there, where they are meeting the center, I added a couple of lines. Then 2 leaves and 1 bud going on the right side from the flower. Again, quite simple. I drew this somewhat oval shape and did the part that is still green and some petals that are still not bloomed. Couple of sprinkles again with some pink, and that is basically it. I decided also, when finished, I decided to add a little bit more because the paint was quite light there. I decided to add a little bit more distinction to the center of the flowers and to the petals, so I've added a little bit of the yellow, a little bit of the green, and a little bit of the pink. Also, you can write in some text if that's what you like. If not, you can leave them just as they are. Then moved on to the second one, and for the second one I just doodled a couple of flowers. Again, very simple, and since they are very simple, I will just let you enjoy the doodling. Just a couple of last strokes, couple of last doodles, and I'll be finishing off this card also. And I hope you like those cards. They're quite fun and interesting ideas. When you don't know what to paint, you can definitely use those ideas and doodle somewhat. You can, on top of those circles, you can doodle basically anything. And guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, share it, comment. If you haven't still, please do subscribe to my channel. That will mean a lot to me. Maybe consider joining my channel. That would also mean very, very much to me. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye.